We start off with the topic today, which is 60-second decision making with GrayMatter's Airport Analytics. And the topic, of course, around the needs and challenges of airport analytics that are met by a solution like GrayMatter's Airport Analytics. This particular presentation will focus on the value proposition, benefits, as well as a solution outline that Airport Analytics or AA Plus consists of. And it will also show a brief use case of how the solution can bring about the business benefits that we are talking about. With that, I move on to the agenda, which I briefly mentioned, which is of course consisting of what GrayMatter is, what is airport analytics, an overview on the product, what are the differentiators, value prop, business benefits, as well as a look at the customers which are currently using this solution, architecture, as well as a use case to demonstrate the business benefits. Now, GrayMatter is a company which was founded in 2006, and it has offices and customers spread across globally. And it typically is into the BI products and services space. By that, I mean GrayMatter has products which are pre-built analytic solutions for industries like manufacturing, insurance, airport, and retail, and also horizontals, analytic solutions for horizontals like finance and HR. So while we have these pre-built productized solutions, we also offer custom services across technology stacks with a specific focus on SAP, of course. We also have presence in other services stacks like Microsoft, Pentaho, etc. But we, of course, have a very mature and evolved practice on SAP. So with that, this diagram quickly summarizes what I wanted to say in terms of the various offerings we have, in terms of the productized offerings. And this in terms of the technology stack competency that we have in terms of services, which would span across BI, data science, BPM, big data analytics, so on and so forth. So this kind of a services stack is, or rather technology competence stack is spread across a bunch of technologies like SAP, Microsoft, Pentaho, and we have expertise on each of these. So having said that, this is a partial customer list that we have, which consists of products as well as services that GrayMatter has offered to their customers successfully. And this session specifically being for airport analytics, it is also relevant to mention the airport partners that we have. For instance, ACI, Inform, Cost Aviation, and Airport Cluster Finland. So these partners, of course, enable our business further, and we kind of together take the right steps to deliver value to airports around the world. So having given you a brief overview of GrayMatter as a company which has been around for around 9 years, and which has been delivering products, BI products and services successfully for customers across the globe, I will get on a more focused context, which is airport analytics, which is a topic for today. So airport analytics is a pre-built BI and analytics platform which typically helps insights or enables insights or helps in decision making for key executives in an airport. And as you would see in the subsequent slides, it is about a truly pre-built solution which consists of KPIs, dashboards, data models, connectors, all pre-built into the solution with the facility that you can customize them according to your specific requirements. And it caters enterprise-wide across all the areas of an airport, namely finance, operations, commercials, infrastructure, ground handling, survey analytics, and other things like HR, environment, sustainability, and so on. So it's a one-stop shop for enterprise-wide analytics for airports, and it is driven by our vision, which says improving profitability and customer experience at airports using analytics. So we are looking at a solution which drives profitability for you and also enhances your customer experience at airports by improving the operational efficiencies, the process outputs, the complete concept of reduced waiting time and improved airport experience for a passenger. So then what is Airport Analytics AA Plus after all? It is a pre-built enterprise-wide analytics solutions for airport operators, which consists of in-depth analytics for all the functional areas we've been talking about, with pre-built connectors, KPIs, dashboards, reports, advanced data models, predictive engines, so on and so forth. So it is basically, I've been telling about pre-built now. It is very important to focus upon the pre-built part of the solution as we move ahead and exchange thoughts on this, because pre-built or out of the box, as you might refer to it, brings in a lot of benefits. It necessarily means that your solution does not have to be built from the scratch, and hence the turnaround time goes down dramatically. You can actually deploy this solution within 4 months at your enterprise, whereas a custom built application or system from the scratch would typically take much longer to reality. So that is one part of it. And of course, along with that, this pre-built nature typically ensures that the total cost of ownership of the system, because the cost of implementation, the cost of maintenance, everything goes down because a lot of things are pre-built and already defined, which again does not rule out the scope for customization though. This is a complete package of dashboards, reports, analytics, statistical models, data integration approaches within the umbrella of a single architecture, and you will see the architecture in further details in the subsequent slides, in terms of all the elements of the BI system like reports, dashboards, ad hoc analytics, ETL tool, everything built within the umbrella of a single package. Now, moving on to a little bit more detail about the product itself. Now that we are talking about the specifics in terms of some of the few key aspects of the solution, let me say, if we kind of take three-pronged view of the product in terms of the technology capability, the functional modules, as well as the analytics maturity, then you would see in the functional modules, you would see it covers pretty much enterprise-wide everything that comes into an airport business. In terms of technology capability, you have everything spanning from dashboards, reports, ad hoc analysis to the ETL connectors, what if analysis, as well as on the advanced side, data mining and statistical models, right? So all this is also complemented by the fact that we have a very mature analytics team of experts that constitutes GrayMatter's entire customer offering, and hence you would see capability ranging from historical data analysis to what if modeling to predictive analytics, and all of this providing information in real time and in a collaborative basis, so that key executives can probably get insights at a glance on their handheld within 2 clicks and reach to a situation where they can see dashboards or KPIs which allow them to take decisions on the fly. So, or let me say, to pass on instructions to their team members to drill down further in particular areas so that they can find out what is the root cause of the trend. So having said that, I would like to dwell upon the functional coverage a little bit more. So I have been talking about enterprise-wide. Now, what is enterprise-wide? It is, of course, all the modules that you see here typically constitute the enterprise-wide need for analytics that an airport would have. But it is not only a breadth coverage that we offer, the solution also goes into depth, and hence you being cognizant and aware of the issues in an airport would appreciate that we have split down operations into sub areas of business needs like core operations, wait time analysis, airport resource utilization, terminal management, airside management. On the commercial side, you have split into retail, non-DFS and DFS, so duty free and non-duty free, into real estate and contracts, car parking, so on and so forth for pretty much each of the modules. It is a very in-depth solution which not only covers the entire breadth of the enterprise needs, but it also goes into depths of the specific requirements. Now, moving on further with the differentiators that this product offers. So I have already told you about the pre-built nature of the product, which brings in lower total cost of ownership, is what this point talks about, which also ensures that you have risk-free rapid deployment, quick data integration through pre-built connectors, and of course, there are other things which come into the product differentiators, including things like role-based insights. So along with being pre-built, the whole product is catered to meet the specific needs, analytics needs or insights needs of CEO, COO, CFO, so on and so forth. So specific to the role, you could drive insights for the person or for the role. So along with that, it is a very user-friendly and a very sharp, accurate, and easy, appealing interface, which ensures that you have a superlative user experience, which is pretty much device agnostic. It can be across your mobile, it can be across iPad, laptop, anything and anywhere. right? So which is why the concept of 2 clicks comes in and becomes so relevant. Now, having said that, it is also a solution which comes in with a lot of ad hoc capabilities. So I have been stressing upon pre-built KPIs, dashboards. Does it mean that you as a business user cannot do some ad hoc analysis and come out with some specific quick analysis that you were looking at? You can with the help of ad hoc analysis. It is not that everything is pre-built and all the dashboards and reports are there as it is canned. A, you can customize, and B, on the fly also you can do your own analysis and find out insights. Now, here in this slide, what you see is something put together to tell you the value proposition of each of the modules. Now, we also understand that it is not that you as an airport might need all the modules at the same time, right? So you might be looking at needs which are more catered to finance, or you might have needs which are more for commercial. So you might want to choose and pick one or more of those modules and not the entire package. So this kind of a definition gives you the value proposition of every single module so that you can pick and choose whatever you want. So you can improve your passenger experience by increasing efficiency in multiple touch points, which is through operations. Finance, you can of course increase your profitability through better control on your revenues, expenses, accounts payable, accounts receivable, your working capital, cash flows. Again, for operations, when you say improving passenger experience, it is basically done by improving the process efficiencies, by reducing the wait times, improving the check-in tag time, security check tag time, so on and so forth. Commercial, by increasing top line. For stores, by analyzing that what is it, which product is selling for a particular store, or how is the store size correlated with the revenue, and hence trying to optimize the revenue from specific stores. Airline marketing, to find out which airline is performing how well or bad in terms of the different parameters like on time arrival, departure, so on and so forth, and hence trying to figure out that what could be done to attract the right kind of airlines and make the airlines improve on their performance as well. Now, beyond that, there are also several other modules like ground handling, which takes care of profitability, productivity, and quality for your ground handling services at an airport by drilling down to task level, resource allocation, productivity, and quality, and also drilling up to, let's say, from a task level to an airline to an airport, right? So this solution brings you the entire gamut of coverage and value props for every functional area of an airport. Now, having said that, what do all these value propositions crystallize to? All of them typically crystallize into key business benefits like overall increasing aero revenue of airline customers, or rather of airports, not airline customers, increasing aero revenue of airports by giving a better experience to the passengers, and thereby increasing their adherence or the usage of the airport. Then increasing non-aero revenue through improving the retail store revenue at the airports, and also overall improving the customer experience by cutting down wait time, improving SLA adherence, giving more and more enhanced TAT. And all of this, of course, boils down to effective middle and senior management decision making. Now, before I move on to the next slide, I have spoken at length on the solution from a functional and a technical perspective at a certain level, not at this detail level yet. So I would stop and ask if you have any questions, because I have run through a lot of information in the past 20 minutes. Okay, so I'm assuming that there are no questions at this point, but if you have at any point, please feel free to just interrupt and let me know, and I'd be happy to address your questions. Texture of the airport analytics solution. So as you see here at the source systems level, we have the SAP ECC enterprise-wide ERP available, which has the modules like FICO, sales distribution, materials management, real estate, controlling profitability analysis, so on and so forth. And of course, other sources of data like airport operations database, point of sales, car parking, airport service quality, cargo, and other sources of data. So all these sources of data are pulled in by the airport analytics pre-built connectors And using these connectors, all the data is pulled into a staging area where the data is manipulated in terms of cleaning, in terms of transforming the data to get the fields which you require in your target data warehouse for analysis. After this transformation in the staging area, the data is loaded into target data warehouse, on top of which you have all your dashboards, reports, predictive analysis, data mining working on top of this target data warehouse data to give you the reports, dashboards, and insights that you see as an end user on your device. So this is a broad architecture of AA plus. So it is a typical ETL kind of a scenario where you have extraction from the source database, source systems through pre-built connectors leading to a staging area where all the extracted data is transformed as per your business requirements, and then from the staging area it is populated into your target data warehouse, on top of which all your dashboards, reports, data models, analysis work. Now, we are also happy to note and say that we've had the following customers in the past 2 years, and all of them have been successful engagements, and we're looking forward to many more. Now, having come till here, and before going to the use case, I would again stop and ask if anybody has a question. I would be happy to take it up. So I'm assuming that we don't have questions. If any, please feel free to ask right away at any point of time. If there are none, then I'll proceed, walk you through a specific scenario which will show you why is this solution so useful, and why have I been talking about pre-built KPIs and drill down and ad hoc analysis and all of that. So this is how the product looks like. So as you see, the data is typically, this timestamp will show you the last update, and typically this is always a real-time update. Although here this data is a dummy, and hence this is not showing up the real timestamp. But however, you'll get the real-time timestamp because you will get real-time insights. And here you see the alerts coming in terms of the threshold values that you would have set for your KPIs. So for instance, if your non-aero revenue has dipped by 5% in the previous quarter, you would typically get a running alert here so that you can see it the moment you enter the portal. And it is not only restricted to that, this alert can also be integrated with Outlook or with your handheld device so that you get a text or you get an email the moment this kind of an alert comes in. Right, so 1 second, I think I am getting a message from someone. Yeah, hi Marin. So you're saying samples of pre-built reports, right?
Yes, if you can show us what is the examples of these pre-built reports per sample processes, like operations, like commercial, something like that.
Sure, Marin. So that's exactly what I'm going to do now. This is to answer Marin's question and for all of us to see and discuss this. This is the product on which I'll quickly jump onto the dashboards or reports that Marin mentioned. So as you can see, this is an airport finance dashboard. So this is typically for the CFO of the airport, and he can see things like the moment he logs into the portal, along with the alerts and along with the self-service analysis that he can do on this My Analysis port. He can also see all these insights in terms of revenue per person, OPEX per person, error revenue per ATM, non-error revenue per square meter, and so on and so forth. Now, how does this work? How does this enable the person to come to a problem and then drill down to a solution? So assuming you're a CFO, you find out that your error revenue has dipped. So there's a negative trend. Now, how would you address this problem? To take, for instance, Marin's question. So how would you take this error revenue problem into consideration and solve it?
So we click on error revenue, and from there on intuitively flow down or drill down to further detailed analysis to find out what is the cause behind the effect. That is to say that what are the root causes behind the behind the dip in error revenue. Now, you could see that the error revenue has been split down here by full service carriers and low cost carriers. There is a comparison here in terms of the revenue from full service carrier and low cost carrier in the last period versus the current period, and you can find that the revenues for full service carrier has actually gone down in the current period, whereas for low cost carrier it has gone up. So obviously the reason for dip in aero revenues is that the full service carrier revenues have gone down, because the low cost carrier actually the revenue has gone up, and hence it's a positive impact. Now if you drill down further from this revenue split into this detailed analysis, you will find the error revenue by aircraft types. Now what you find here, of course, is that the wide body aircrafts have had a dip in revenue, whereas the narrow body aircraft like Boeing 767 has had an increase in revenue. Now it is interesting to note that the full service carriers mostly are utilizing the wide body aircrafts, and the wide body aircraft, since they pay more fee to the airport than the narrow body aircraft, it becomes now obvious that because of the dip in the wide body aircraft, there is a dip in the full service carrier revenue. Now this is an example of how uh, airport analytics helps you drill down from the the problem to the root cause, and hence devise a solution for fixing to fix the problem. Now it is also noteworthy that one can also look at other reasons why the error revenue has come down. So for instance, we look at some other operational factors that may have contributed to the dip in error revenue. We can do a further drill down on those lines to try and find out some other reasons. So for instance, when we drill down to this particular dashboard, which is called the ETM dashboard.
Here, as you see, the count of cancelled flights, if you see in the current period, has gone up significantly compared to the previous period, particularly for international flights. This would also have had an impact on the aero revenue. If you look at the trend of the aero bridge revenues and the remote car parking revenues, those have also had a dip in the last period, in the recent past, right? So clearly, and there can be so many other trends coming in from each of the other portlets, right? So you could have a ATM decrease in number of flights from your airport, so on and so forth. So the three or four aspects which we demonstrated or illustrated here, including the FSC leading to the aircraft type, leading to the increased cancelled flights, leading to the reduced usage of aero bridges and remote parking, are just examples of how you can drill down from an effect to the cause. Right? So this is the power of the pre-built solution, where all these KPIs, all these dashboards are pre-built, and they are all supported by a huge expertise of 100 man years of domain experts from airport industry, aviation industry, that we have in our organization, who have strategically designed these KPIs and dashboards so that you can find out the right problems or the typical problems that you need to look at, and then drill down to the solutions for the same, right? So this is an example, a use case for this. Having said this, I want to now open up the discussion for all of for your thoughts, please. And please feel free to message me, and I'll unmute you the moment so that you can. Yes, Rick.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, so I'm having technical difficulties. So I was quite intrigued at the beginning of the presentation. You were saying about the out-of-the-box concept. And you said about 4 months deployment. Does that include sort of standard interfaces, or are you not including old legacy type things that you do get at airports? Because obviously there's a horrendous number of interfaces at airports, and they all have a different sort of level of technology.
Absolutely, Rick. So your question is, it's right. What you're saying is right. So 4 month is an ideal standard state where all our pre-built KPIs, dashboards, connectors with your source systems are ideally fitting in. If you have customizations, if you have needs for different kinds of insights, or if your source systems are maybe custom built apps, or there are a lot of more third-party systems that need to be integrated to then what the solution factors for, then it would certainly go for more than 4 months. But 4 months, 4 to 6 months is typically a standard kind of scenario.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's all the pricing sort of based on module, or do you do a sort of site license?
So it is a license-based pricing, if that was your question. It is a license-based
Yeah.
pricing, and you can get licenses for every module. So you would recall the slide where I was trying to explain the modular value proposition. So it is not as if you have to buy the entire package. You can think of buying licenses for particular modules. Right? You might want to start with finance and operations, for instance, to see what is the ROI that you get out of it, right? And also to introduce in this discussion, we are also offering a cloud proposition for this entire solution. Hence, you will also get a pay-as-you-go model. So you need not even install this on-premise. You can get it on the cloud, and you can have a periodic subscription kind of model as well for this. We are open for those kind of options as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. And then the license has a number of users as well, so you have a tier system, do you?
Yeah, license for the number of users. That's right.
Yeah. Okay.
Sure. So I think I saw another question. I think it was from Carl. Was it from you? The question?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, I'm sorry for that.
No problem.
Yeah, the question was, I read it down because I read it by typing it in. You have example have provided that you drill down on data. It was mainly on yearly basis, I assume. What about the capabilities of the system in drilling down on a daily basis? So comparing days of operations with each other, is this possible?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you properly. So your question is on drill down based on what? Sorry, can you come again, please?
Comparison on a daily basis. Data, not assuming the whole bunch of data from a complete year or half of a year, but also compare operations from one day to another.
Yeah, so to answer your question, analysis across different grains of time dimension is possible. So if your question was whether we can do daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, yes, we can do all of it. So the analysis that you're seeing here are more of monthly, quarterly, so on. But it is certainly possible wherever relevant. For instance, in operations, you could have daily analysis of, let's say, flight departures and flight arrivals. That is possible, if that was your question.
Yeah, that's my question. Thanks.
Okay. So Rick, did you have a question?
But I mean,
Sorry.
will we have a copy of the presentation, or do we just go to your website?
We will share a copy of the presentation with you. We will
Okay.
share a copy. Yeah, it's a nice area of business on which we can exchange thoughts in terms of the possible solutions and the various needs and problems that we are trying to address here. So there are no further questions at this point. What I would request is I will certainly send you out this PPT, and hence you will also have my email ID. Please feel free to reach out with feedback, questions, doubts, suggestions, anything that comes to your mind. And we would welcome all of that, because we also look forward to next series of webinars where we'll be discussing drill down topics. By that I mean I have given you a flavor of what the entire package consists of and what are the individual value propositions. Now we will take up in subsequent webinars every individual module, let's say operations, commercial, and so on, and go into deeper dives of what each of those modules consists of. I would certainly welcome all your thoughts, comments, and feedback, and would also look forward to having you for the subsequent webinars, please. Having said that, I would request all of you for this session, if there are any questions, please feel free to ping me right away, and I'll unmute you for, I think there is one question that has come up. Okay, so it is Marin once. So hi Marin, which modules of AA Plus exist? So
Okay,
all,
just send you a few questions. Yeah. Can you list which kind of models you have in this AA product?
sure. So this shows the different modules of AA Plus: operations, finance, commercial, airline marketing, infrastructure, ground handling. These are the different modules which constitute the business areas of an airport. And this package, basically, this solution addresses each of these modules in great detail, like we explained here. So each of these modules have been split into sub-functional areas. So you have KPIs, dashboards, reports, analysis for each of those areas.
Okay, and it is paid, actually ordered by models.
Yes, you can purchase it by modules, by licenses for modules. It might also be that you are interested and want to have all the modules together and the entire product together, or you can also look at this slide and we can drill down on each of those modules and see which one is it that your business needs. Is it this that you need operations, finance to begin with, and hence you want to start with that. So it could be a combination of any of these.
Okay, which database you are using for data warehouse?
We are technology agnostic, so we typically can, in terms of databases, we can, while in terms of source systems, we look at SAP, Microsoft, Pentaho, anything. In terms of database, also we are fairly flexible in terms of the end database that we use.
This is on-premise or cloud solution?
This is on-premise. This could also be available on cloud. So you can buy it on cloud on a pay-per-use model. So typically for every module, you can get a subscription-based model.
Okay, do you have sub connector, and if yes, on which models?
You see
SAP
us?
connector.
Oh yes, SAP connector is there for every module. It's for every module you have. So for the entire package, you can connect to the SAP. So let me go to the architecture diagram again. So
Is it something that is additionally priced, or it's included in the model when we
it's
are ordering
included. It's
connection
included.
or ETL?
It's included, Marin. It's included. So you see these connectors, they are all included in the package. And typically you would have connectors for all the components of the source systems. So
Okay, how you are planning the project?
sorry, how
How
we
you are
plan.
planning the project? What prerequisite for the project?
Okay, requisite for the project would be basically we'll initially do a study of your source systems and we'll try to map, how much of, and also understand what is your BI need, what is your need for reports, dashboards, insights. So, we'll readily get a map of what is it that you want and what is it that the solution, the standard solution has. And we get a gap analysis in terms of the degree of customization required, right? So that also gives us a sense of efforts and the time of deployment. And hence we draw out a project plan for you saying that from the point that you purchase the licenses, whatever implementation and customization is required, how much time will it take and what would be the typical project plan.
Is it possible that key users or some analytics can prepare a report by themselves from some cubes or something?
Yes, absolutely. Good question. Actually, this is something which I was about to do when I think we were into another discussion. You see this tab, this part called My Analysis. So that is typically nothing but ad hoc analysis. So for instance, if you go to this operations, if you click here, you will be presented with a screen which will show your data model. So you can drag and drop your fields from different functional areas and create your own ad hoc analysis. So you want to have a wait time analysis by flights, you can just drag and drop relevant fields from the operations tables, right? Which are in a business terms presented in the data model in a business friendly manner, so that any business user can drag and drop and see the report that they want.
Is it possible to schedule some sending of the reports on some daily or some kind of basis, daily
Absolutely,
basis, for example?
absolutely. All of these reports, like when I mentioned the alerts, so these kind of alerts or even these reports can be scheduled for you to, for a particular executive or business user to receive it on a preset frequency, right? So there are other features also. When you see this dashboard, you can click here and provide comments on this dashboard and then send it out through your Outlook to that person's Outlook, or it can be integrated to that person's other device as well. So All of this can be integrated, reports and dashboards can be integrated and scheduled or even sent on an ad hoc basis to the persons you want.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
That's all from my side.
Sure, madam. So, having said that, I would continue with the thought that, I would look forward to all your feedback and thoughts and questions and any other information that you wanted before we meet again for the next webinar, of course. And thank you all for joining in today. I would look forward to your communication over emails once I send this out to you. And I would say goodbye for now and thanks for attending. Thank you.